You're listening to Stories Behind the Songs with Chris Blair. For more information, you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at SBT Songs, or check us out at chrisblair.com. This week, I'm sitting down with Braden Jamison. I enjoyed this episode so much. His voice and his songs are so amazing. We're going to dive into how he was playing 4 sports at a time when he was growing up in Oklahoma and decided he wanted to pursue music. He quit basketball to play music and then ended up moving to Nashville in 2020, got his first pub deal 2024. We're going to talk about all of that, dive into some songs off of his new EP that just came out this May, and he's going to tell some stories behind the songs off of a couple of those and play them. Can't wait for you to hear it. I know this guy is just about to launch his career big time. He's so good. Let's get into it. Here is Braden Jamison. All right, here we are back in Nashville. Braden Jamison, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Bright and early.
Oh yeah. Thanks for having me.
Man, you've got a lot of stuff going on. I'm excited to kind of dive into to the new songs that just came out in May, and just all the stuff going on. But let's go back to Oklahoma. Take me back to the beginning.
Yeah, man. I grew up around music always. My dad was a pastor for most of my life. Yeah. So we were at church all the time, and I'd get bored and see something and go play it. So it got in me that way pretty early. And then grew up playing sports and everything, which is good. And a lot of that translates over into how I do music now. So it was good.
What were some of the biggest musical influences back then?
Back then, I would say I have a sister I'm the baby of the family.
Okay.
And my sister's 9 years older than me. And so she would take me to school and we'd play Brad Paisley, Josh Turner, John Mayer, all the stuff that was at its peak back then, which was awesome. And then whatever my parents were listening to, a lot of 90s country and classic rock and stuff like that.
Yeah. I can hear the early country in your songs quite a bit. So what was the shift for you? Like, when did you decide, like, hey, I want to do this for a living?
I think my junior year of high school, I decided not to play basketball that year. And I just kind of, like I said, I played 4 sports and I wanted to play music a little bit more. So that's kind of what I did with that time. And we got to open for Toby Keith that winter. And that was kind of the first experience that I had that was like, wow, I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah. And was that back home?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How did you land that deal?
It was like a gubernatorial inaugural event. And Toby's from Oklahoma. Yeah. Obviously. So he was playing, and we just I honestly don't have any idea. We had no business being there. We actually had never played as a band and rehearsed the night before for the first time. So that was a pretty nerve-wracking experience. But so now I feel like we can do anything.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. So, all right. So then you moved here in 2020, is that right?
2020, yep.
Yeah. Went to Belmont.
That's right.
So then what was life like when you first got here? Did you already know anybody in town, or did you just kind of move in and it was like, all right, I gotta get out and start meeting people?
Not really. There were 1 or 2 people maybe that I had met that I knew were going to Belmont. But it was a pretty fresh start. And it was a culture shock for sure, being from where I'm from and then moving out here where it's going 9 into nothing all the time.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah. So what did you do in the early days to kind of build the camp up?
Man, I would write with anybody that would write with me. And one thing that's really helped even now is having people critique my songs, people that I really respect and admire their opinion. Just have them tell me what they feel like is going wrong in the song, and I'll go back and try to fix it. And I don't think it's done until it's on a DSP necessarily. So.
Yeah. Who would you say, talking about that, some people like getting critiqued. I mean, you should, right? But then you got to have thick skin too, especially in the beginning, to hear yeah, that song's no good.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite like go-to person when it comes to that?
Chris
DuBois. Yeah.
Yeah, and he will rip them apart. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about your first pub deal. Was 4 years after you moved here. So how'd you get hooked up with Seagull?
So Chris came and talked to my publishing class at Belmont, which was taught by Marty Wheeler, who's also awesome. And I noticed we had some Oklahoma ties, Chris and I did. And so I just emailed him and was like, hey man, I'd love to come show you some songs and have you tell me what's going wrong kind of thing. And I did that several times. And then they asked me to be their writing intern, where basically I got a mini deal for like the semester.
Yeah.
And then I never left. So,
man,
and I
great.
love it. It's the best people over there. They have great songs coming out every day.
Yeah.
So they're the best.
Let's dive into your music. So you just put out your album in May. You got to play some of those songs the week that it came out, both here in the Bluebird.
Yep.
So what was that like putting that project together? You're new in the industry. So for everybody out there listening, just kind of give a little bit of background of like everything that's behind the scenes that happens when it's like, the listener just gets this music, 100,000 songs that are released on a daily basis, on DSPs. Many of them don't know all the work that goes into it. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I've been saying ever since it came out that I've put out a good amount of music in the last few years, but this felt like my real debut, just in town.
Yep.
And it was the first time I got to do it with a team around me, which was awesome. And I'm really proud of it, but a lot went into it. I made probably a 30-page release plan going into it, and it's the first time I've ever been able to put everything I had into the strategy and the release and that whole thing.
How many songs did you have to pick from?
Probably 8 to 12, but these 6 were kind of, we knew we were going to do this project basically since I got over at Seagull.
Yeah. And
so we were kind of writing forward, and I had some in already that we rewrote, so it wasn't too hard to pick this time.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to dive into those songs. But before we get there, talk about what touring's like, especially after like not putting a band together a day before a show.
Yeah.
How did you put your band together? You've toured and opened up for some great people. So talk about that a little bit.
It's a whole lot of fun. It can get on top of you if you let it, I will say. But so you just got to be careful out there and remind yourself that so many people would kill to be doing what you're doing when you start getting tired. But I love it. It's one of my favorite parts of the process, and just shaking hands after the show. And I think when people sing your song back to you is probably the greatest feeling in this business. So that's awesome. And then just meeting people and having them tell you like, hey, this helped me through this, we listen, now we have a memory of us doing this to this song, and it's the coolest thing.
Yeah. And you've got a band name. So how'd that come about?
We were playing Old Red in Tishomingo, Oklahoma 3 years ago, I think. And my brother's in my band. And I had a song, it's a terrible song, called Neon Stranger.
Yeah.
And they had like a radio like DJ host that night introducing us. And he's like, Braden Jamison, and is there a band name? And my brother just like jokingly said, the Neon Strangers. And I didn't know he was joking. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Well, we're like walking on stage after they said it. He's like, dude, I was joking. And I was like, too late now. We're rolling with it. So we just stuck with it.
Man, that's hilarious. All right, let's dive into some songs, man. Do you have a favorite song off the EP?
That's a tough question. Probably CattyWampus.
Okay.
Sonically, for sure.
Dude, it's so good. That swampy, like just
Thank you, man.
Groove to it is so cool.
It came out exactly how I wanted it. And we did a demo, Lee Starr and I did, when we wrote it. And I was like, I'm going to pretty much copy this. And we changed a couple of things. But sonically, for sure, CattyWampus, even it kind of holds a special place in my heart too, because I pitched that all around town. Nobody wanted to write a song called CattyWampus until Lee Starr. And I feel like we did it right. So
take me into the room that day.
Well, I think we were kind of struggling to get a hook to write. And I was like, dude, I've been pitching this around. Nobody wants to take it. If you don't take it, I'm probably never going to write it, never pitch it again. And I was like, what do you think about CattyWampus? And he's like, dude, I love that. And then we just started kicking around what it could be, like Diamond Rio, Beautiful Mess, kind of wacky, like I'm doing this because I'm all confused and stuff. And it came out pretty good, I think. And we just laughed for like 3 hours that day. We were just cracking up.
So did you just have the hook, or did you have the idea of like where you wanted that idea to go?
Literally just the word CattyWampus. And I thought it was going to be a heartbreak thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, what if it was like a love song? I'm like, that'd be sick. So.
Yeah. Was it a quick write?
It was. Yeah, I think if Lee and I especially have the tendency to like mess around and say dumb stuff while we're writing. And when you're writing a song called CattyWampus especially, so we probably could have written it in 2 hours, but it took a little bit longer that day.
Yeah. Man. What's your natural process? Are you more of the hook idea guy or music?
I would say idea to start the day, typically, just because I'm an artist and people kind of look to me for that. But I'm also, like, I co-produced this EP, and so I love the musical aspect of it too, and everything like that with the stops and changes, and I love it all.
Yeah. All right, let's dive into when the song mentor and critiquer becomes the songwriter. Let's talk about the song you wrote with Chris.
Yeah, so Chris is on three of them. Yep. Which I believe is the first time we wrote together, which is intimidating. Super intimidating.
Yeah.
Because at this point, all he had done is help me make my songs less bad. So I had a song, the first one we wrote was Suits Me Just Fine. And it was with Cam Newby and Chris.
Cam's also great, man.
Cam is Nashville's best kept secret, and he's about to not be a secret anymore. So we took Suits Me Just Fine, which is a song we've been playing for 2 years probably. So we had the idea obviously coming in and the structure and all of that, and we just kind of buttoned it up a little bit. And then we did Making It Up As I Go, which Jack Brassfield is on, and Cam and Chris. And then Criminal Record, that probably took the most digging. That took a few days because I also had already written that one, and we kind of had to shift gears a little bit, but we got it and I love it.
Yeah. I love Suits Me Just Fine. You know, it really brought back like personal memories for me. You know, talking about your friends that are bankers making bank and getting dressed up and all of that. And when I'm like, my background before I started the listening room was in finance.
Okay.
And I literally moved to Nashville in 2003 to pursue an artist career first, and then shifted over into songwriting. But I was a banker during the day to pay the bills. And man, I just like, you know, playing Fort Worth one night and back in Tennessee the next, and like, you know, just so many memories of like, yeah, dude, I relate. Like, you're not making enough money to even pay for gas, but it's like you're doing it.
That's awesome.
So like, take me into the room. Let's talk about that one a little bit. Did you come up with that idea?
Suits Me Just Fine.
Yeah. So just how did that write go that day?
It was different for me for sure, because I had already written the song in its entirety. and it's always a little bit weird because you get married a little bit to what you've done, especially because we had been playing it out for 2 years, and people are like, when is that coming out? And then you change it and you send it to the people that have heard it, and they're like, wait, what? But it was fun, man. Those are always fun. We write them at night, usually after the day on those rewrites. And it was just cool to see, like, it was almost symbolic, like something I had been touring around with for a couple years, bringing it to Nashville, and it just got elevated with these writers. And I knew it was going to be for the better.
A lot of true stories in there?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
What's some of the favorite memories on the road that helped craft that song?
I think, so I wrote that song, actually, we played Mercury Lounge in Tulsa a couple years ago, and I drove, which we have a direct flight now, which is pretty sick, but I used to just drive it every time. And we didn't make any money, like literally no money. I think we got free drinks. And I'm on I-40 East. And the line used to be, tonight we're out in Fort Worth, come tomorrow, we're going to be at the Mercury, which is now changed, obviously. But that's kind of where the whole song started was, what am I doing out here? Like, I'm so broke. I was in college at that time, just playing country music, man.
Yeah.
For the love of it.
Well, I love the song, and like I said earlier, man, your voice is just, I can hear the old country influences. Some of the runs that you do vocally are just really, really good. And
thank you.
And I'm excited to see what happens. You want to play a little bit of that one for us?
Yeah. Gas ain't getting cheaper, but we still gotta get from A to B. Tonight we're out in Fort Worth, come tomorrow, be back in Tennessee. I got buddies that are bankers, making bank, wearing wingtip shoes and ties. That's alright. Honky tonk suits me just fine. We're just hippies, we're just cowboys, up there making loud noise, playing songs that people wanna hear. Ain't nobody getting rich, sometimes we play for tips, but most of the time we just play for beer. To hell with high rises and suits, I can wear blue jeans and boots. Honky tonk suits me just fine.
Come on. I love it, dude.
Thank you.
This episode is brought to you by All Clear Audio. All Clear Audio is a custom and universal in-ear monitor company based in Minneapolis, Minnesota, with a storefront right here in Nashville, Tennessee, where we film the Stories Behind the Songs podcast. All Clear strives to not only be the leading provider of high-quality custom and universal fit in-ear monitors, but also leads the way in customer service and care. With custom starting at dual driver all the way to 13 drivers, there's something for everyone. Head over to allclair.com, that's ALCLAIR.com, and use our code SBTSongs to receive 10% off. Thank you for the sponsorship. We love you guys at All Clear, and we hope that everyone out there listening takes advantage of this and enjoys them as well. Let's talk a little bit more about being on the road. We've got a fun gig that we get to do together come this, what is it, September, October this year?
Yeah, September, yep.
St. Augustine Songwriters Festival. I've been able to host that with my buddy Arliss since the very beginning. I don't even know how many years now, 9 or something like that. But
wow.
Yeah, this is your first time there. So you looking forward to it?
It's going to be a good time.
Have you played festivals like that before?
Not songwriters festivals.
Okay.
Only like band summer kind of stuff.
So you know what this means, right? I'm going to give you a real hard time when I'm introducing you on stage. And we're going to have fun with the crowd. Dude, this place that we play, for everybody out there listening, check it out, St. Augustine Songwriters Festival.com. It is this setting at Colonial Oak, where we have the listening room stage, is like, there's this, like, I don't know, 400-year-old oak tree in the middle of the area in front of the stage that just comes up and like Italian lights in it, and it's just, dude, the setting is like insane. Plus you're in Florida, so
that's like, awesome. Sounds perfect.
Yeah. We're gonna have a really good time. It's kind of an adult spring break with all the songwriter buddies.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. So, what else is coming up for you? Any other shows on the road?
Well, I just started booking a little bit more for the fall, but I know we have Kane's Ballroom again in September, which is my favorite venue of all time. Some casino stuff in November, I think, and then the corporate stuff, which is where it's really at.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good money there. Let's dive into one more song. When It Comes to You, you wrote that with my buddy Mark Irwin, and another great song I loved off the EP. Take me into the story behind that one.
Yeah, so I was in college, fixing to go home for the summer, and I knew I was about to cut in Tulsa, and I needed a love song for the project. It was the last one that I knew did not have a song in that slot, and so I was running around town that week like, hey, I've got to get a love song before I go home. And I wrote one with S.J. McDonald and Kenny Whitmire. And I was like, this is it. And then I had a double that day, went straight from that was 30 minutes late because we were wrapping it up, and wrote another love song, which I'm probably going to put out beginning of next year, with Mark Irwin and Lee Starr. And I was like, all right, we beat the last one. This is it. And then the following day, Davis Luce, Mark Irwin, and I wrote When It Comes to You. And that was the one. So 3 writes in a row, 2 days, thought I had it every time.
Yeah.
So I'm glad there wasn't a 4th day or a 3rd day, I guess. But
so did you come up with that idea too?
I did.
Yeah. And what's the backstory on these songs?
That one's heavily inspired by my girlfriend.
Okay.
But originally, I think it was actually Davis's idea. It was When It Comes to Me, which now that I'm saying that out loud after knowing the other, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I even did that. And we tried to write it and it didn't really work out. And then I went home and rewrote the second verse and sent it. And Davis fought back for the better on the chorus. So
yeah,
it ended up being good.
Davis is another one of those guys that he's become a good friend too. And I met him in St. Augustine at the festival years and years ago. We always have 2 local songwriters from the Florida area that open the show up. And the first year that Davis was there, we hit it off. He was just really cool. And I thought he was super talented, especially for his age. And, I was like, dude, you need to move to Nashville. And he's like, yeah, that's the plan. And then a full year goes by and we go back the following year to the festival and he played it again. So I gave him a hard time and I was like, man, it's been a year. Like, what are you doing? And he was like, man, if you give me a job, I'll come. And I was like, done. So he packed up and moved here and worked here at the listening room for a while. And man, he's just like super talented. And we've never written together, but I've heard that from many writers that like when he pushes back, he's pretty brilliant when it comes to that stuff.
He's the best, man. Yeah. If you don't love Davis Luce, there's something wrong with it.
That's right. Yeah. You can't walk into a room without just feeling his presence when he's around.
That's exactly right.
And if you do, he's going to make sure you do feel
That's exactly right.
Talk to me a little bit more about When It Comes to You, and then let's play a little bit of that one.
Yeah, man, it's one of my favorites. Lyrically, it may be the best song lyrically, in my opinion, on the EP. It's just pretty airtight. And it was kind of out of my wheelhouse a little bit. I never wrote a lot of love songs leading up to that point. But I was super proud when we left that day. And I knew I wasn't just throwing it on to throw it on, because I had just written 2 other songs that I was really proud of to put on.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like, okay, well, I know this one is at least the best of these, and now it's one of my favorites.
Yeah. You gonna play a little bit?
Yep. I've never been too good at knowing what to say. I've been known to let my thoughts get in the way, but I ain't holding back this time. I'm just saying what's on my mind. When it comes to you, the words just fall like rain from the sky. No thinking it all. I need for you to know I love you, and letting it show comes so naturally. When it comes to you, it just comes to me.
Man, another great song, dude. And I love the chords that you hit there, and just melodically, your voice is so dang good, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. What kind of advice would you give new writers? I mean, it happens still fairly fast for you in town, compared to like what the average is. Everybody says it's, like a 10-year town. And sometimes I see that turn into more like 12, 15 years. What do you think was the magic potion for you to like find Seagull and do all these things so quickly?
Well, I don't have everything figured out by any means, but I would say the best advice I ever got was actually from my dad. And he said, keep your mind open and your mouth shut. And I learned through my internship especially, was just like a semester-long clinic of this is how we really do it as professionals here. And this is how, I hadn't co-written a ton at that point either. So start doing that as early as you can to just get the feel of how to command a room, and sit back if you need to sit back and let somebody else take the reins. But that's what I'd say, and just be good to people.
Yeah, love that, man. I always end on this question. So we'll, if you could go back to 8-year-old you, now what you're doing, and still so much more to come, man. What kind of advice would you give yourself today?
What a question. Honestly, just don't quit. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but it's not going to be because you quit.
Keep playing for those tips and beer.
That's right. The only way it for sure doesn't happen is if you stop doing it.
Yeah.
So.
Great advice. Well, dude, thanks so much for coming in. I was really looking forward to sitting down, and looking forward to jamming with you in St. Augustine this year and having a blast, man.
Yeah, man, it's going to be awesome. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. And everybody out there listening, make sure you check out the liner notes. We will put links to all Braden's socials and his music and everything there. Go support him. Go buy his music. I say that almost every week. Go buy it, buy it, buy it. This has been another episode of Stories Behind the Songs. I'm Chris Blair. You've been listening to Braden Jamison, and we will see you next time. Thank you for listening to another episode of Stories Behind the Songs with Chris Blair. Make sure to give us a follow on Spotify if you enjoyed this episode, and make sure you click that notification button so you can keep notified when new episodes come out. We release brand new episodes every Tuesday, and you can find us on YouTube at Stories Behind the Songs with Chris Blair or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to send us a comment letting us know what you thought of the episodes. We love getting your feedback, and share this with your friends. The more we grow, the more that we can keep doing this. It's our mission to bring you all of these great stories behind the songs from some of Nashville's most iconic artists and songwriters, publishers, producers, everyone in between, and a lot of my great friends. We love what we do, and we love sharing their stories with you. We appreciate all of the continued support. Thanks also to all of our sponsors, and we will see you all next week.